Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, as we learn from St. Augustine, Doctor of the Church, while we read his book, Confessions. Welcome, Catholic pilgrims. Today we get to hear a short reading about one of the transcendentals, beauty. Let's open to Book 10, Chapter 27 on page 231. I have learned to love you late. Beauty at once so ancient and so new, I have learned to love you late. I searched for you outside myself, and disfigured as I was, I fell upon the lovely things of your creation. You were with me, but I was not with you. The beautiful things of this world kept me far from you, and yet, if they had not been in you, they would have had no being at all. You called me, you cried aloud to me, you broke my barrier of deafness. You shone upon me, your radiance enveloped me. You put my blindness to flight. You shed your fragrance about me. I drew breath, and now I gasp for your sweet odor. I tasted you, and now I hunger and thirst for you. You touched me, and I am inflamed with love of your peace. For the past few decades in our culture, a new rule has been laid down, and that rule is you are never allowed to say if something is not beautiful. We are told that beauty is completely subjective, and so what is beautiful to you may not be beautiful to another. Now, scientific studies actually prove this thought process wrong, but when you say that to people, it matters none. For example, several months ago, I came across this video of a young woman who dressed ultra goth. Now, when I say ultra goth, I mean to a degree that you couldn't even see the person anymore. The people that ended up criticizing me online pretended like I was saying she was just wearing some black and maybe some black nail polish. No. It's actually impossible for me to accurately describe how she looked. So many piercings on her face, so much heavy makeup, hair that looked like a weed whacker had gone through it, clothes were torn and mismatched. It was awful. I could not see her. Anyway, the point of the video was that she was doing a transformation for her dad and having a makeover. My gosh, what a change. She was such a pretty girl once you removed all of that noise. So I wrote about it on my social media page, and I wasn't like criticizing her because I clearly feel like something is wrong. I was just talking about how sometimes when people are really hurting, they mask themselves. They want to be almost someone else in order to not have to deal with the pain of whatever it is they're going through. And of course, people came out to criticize me. The goth community showed up telling me about how goth is actually very Catholic because we have Gothic cathedrals, but I'll cite that for another day. That's another topic. Anyway, the point is, yes, every human is beautiful in the way that they are made in the image and likeness of God. My heart hurt for this girl because underneath all of that noise was a beautiful soul. But the way that we choose to show up in the world is not always beautiful, and we need to stop pretending like it is. If I wore a bag of trash, that would not be the same as if I wore a lovely ball gown. And we know that it's not the same. They're both not beautiful, and it would be dishonest to say otherwise. On the Kansas State campus, there's this sculpture of like a chubby fork. I don't know how else to describe it. That's a weird way to describe it, but that's literally what it is, a chubby fork. And nobody sits and looks at it for long periods of time in awe of the beauty. I only really know about it because I passed it almost every day during my time at K-State for 4 years. Actually, nobody really cares about it. It could go away and nobody would care. But Michelangelo's David or the Pieta, yeah, people stand for long periods of time because those statues are objectively beautiful. People travel across the world to come see those statues. Nobody's going to see the chubby fork. Beauty comes from God, and so there rightly is objective beauty. and it can move people and it can reach people. Like St. Augustine is talking about here today. Before he really knew God, he was still delighting in the lovely, beautiful things of God's creation. But not everything can be beautiful, because if everything is beautiful, then, to kind of quote the evil villain in Incredibles, then nothing is. Beauty is ever ancient and ever new. In a word, it is timeless. That is all for today, Catholic Pilgrims. Thank you for joining me today, and until next time, live the faith boldly and travel well.